Hi dear Leos, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about the transits for the month of December. December should be relatively peaceful because we don't have any eclipses this month, and it's been a month and a half since the last eclipse, so that means like all the dust has settled by now, so we have stability until March. That's when we'll have the next eclipse. And so, but still, December has its own surprise, and that is Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, as you guys know, is a time when we get lost a lot, we forget things, we are confused, there are misunderstandings, we accidentally send email with the wrong attachment or to the wrong recipients and stuff. Like all that mess is associated with Mercury retrograde. That's when we have like social media apps like down, communication problems, our phones start acting weird, or like computers, yeah, so classic Mercury retrograde stuff. And other than that, December should be pleasant. And let's begin. I'm going to start by talking about the outer planets first, and we will start with Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn is almost done. It's been in that sign. Pluto has been in that sign for 15 years. Yeah, a long time. And it's going to enter Aquarius for the second time in January 2024. So that means right now Pluto is in the very last degrees, like the last 3 degrees of Capricorn. And dear Leos, if you have planets in the late degrees of Cancer, like say your Mercury or your Venus, then you are going to feel that opposition from Pluto. But if you don't have any planets in Cancer, then you are all set. Like because the thing about Pluto is it's so far away from the sun that we barely feel its aspect. So we feel it only when it's making an exact aspect, like degree to degree. Yeah. So if you don't have any planets, good. But if you do have it, just be aware. It can be like a little difficult, but the thing is, you've already experienced this back in spring, like I think May or June. Yes, you did. So and back then it was like retrograde, which is horrible. When outer planets make aspects while they're retrograde, they're really harsh. But this time it's the Pluto is direct, and it's gonna make an opposition to your planets in Cancer. So it's not gonna be that bad, as bad as it was last time. Okay, and this awareness that it's temporary helps. Sometimes this opposition can actually be empowering. So who knows? Maybe for some of you things are going great. And what else? After Pluto in Capricorn, we have Neptune in Pisces, and Leos. That is your. Wait, I forgot to mention. Like Pluto in Capricorn, that is your 6th house. Yeah, you've had Pluto in there, like transforming your health in the past 15 years. And dear Leos, you are almost done. Like when Pluto leaves your house of health and work, it's gonna be much better. And yeah, like your health won't be bothered by Pluto anymore. And now, next, Neptune in Pisces. And Neptune has been in your 8th house of shared resources for 10 years now. Yeah, it got like 2 more years in there, and then it's going to enter your 9th house. And so Neptune in Pisces in your 8th house, it has been dissolving some of the, I don't know, psychological issues, I guess, because 8th house is associated with trauma. And Neptune can be like, because it's spiritual, it can be almost healing as well. So yeah, and after that, after Neptune in Pisces, we have Uranus in Taurus. Now this one is interesting because Uranus is in your 10th house. That's your most public house. That's a house of career, social status, life purpose. Yeah, your career. And so things must have been exciting in the past 5 years in your work area, because Uranus entered Taurus in February 2019. Yeah, and it's still got 2 more years in Taurus. So use this exciting energy. Yes, there might have been surprises, surprising changes, or like feeling like the rug is being pulled from under your feet in terms of like career and stuff. But it was teaching me a lesson. It's useful. And for some, maybe you even got promotions, or you even got jobs that you never thought you would get. So it's not an entirely bad transit. Some of you even might have gotten like suddenly famous by going viral or something, because Uranus is associated with technology, and 10th house is fame. So yeah, especially like Leos who were born in the late degrees of Leo, you are going to experience square from Uranus, which increases these chances. So yes, Uranus is unpredictable, but it's exciting. Try to look at it positively. And Leos, you can do that. Like, you guys are passionate. And what else? After Uranus, we have Saturn. And now, Saturn, again, it's in your 8th house, like Neptune. But the thing is, Neptune is in the late degrees of Pisces, but Saturn is in the very early degrees of Pisces. And so when Saturn entered Pisces, it left your 7th house. So all the work, not work, all the delays, frustrations in terms of relationships are done. You are done with the karmic lessons of that transit. And now Saturn is in the area of shared resources, your partner's money. So in the next 2 years, it might be that your partner has to be kind of like tight with money, maybe because you guys are saving for a house or something. Or it can be a time where he's like working extra jobs maybe to earn more money. That's also Saturn theme. And in your case, it might feel as though like, yeah, the sharing feels more like a responsibility, or like because 8th house is also a psychological house, intimacy house. It might be that like try to consciously be more talkative with your partner, I guess. I'm sure you guys are doing fine, but just be aware that like there is this possibility. And sometimes we'll function on autopilot and we don't know what we're doing. So yeah. Next, after Saturn, we have Jupiter. Jupiter is much more exciting to talk about because it's a fun planet, and Jupiter right now is in your 10th house, like Uranus. So that is fun because again, Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. Wherever it is, it like makes things big, like expands things. And so imagine that, Jupiter in your house of social status, your work, okay, your life purpose. So Jupiter is increasing your reputation, which is good. And coupled with Uranus, it's probably very exciting. Like Leos, you guys are having like a career year, okay, until next May. So do milk this transit consciously. And yeah, I hope Jupiter gives you guys awesome opportunities in your career. Next, after Jupiter, we have Mars, which is an inner planet. And now in this second half of the video, I'm going to talk about the inner planet transits. On December 1st, Mercury enters Capricorn until February 5th, 2024. Yeah, that's like 2 months, almost 2 months, which is a very long time for Mercury, which usually sprints through signs in like barely 3 weeks, 18 days. Yeah, so now Mercury is, in December, it's going to slow down, turn backwards, and then turn direct and catch up, and yeah, so on. Mercury is going to leave its shadow zone on February 5th. And what else was I going to say? So this Mercury, when it enters Capricorn, it's going to enter your 6th house. So work is going to get busy. A lot of phone calls, more communication, like talking at work, discussing, collaborating, probably even like writing a lot, because Mercury is communication and 6th house is work, so maybe work-related writing. And what else? Yeah, so lots of communication. And the thing is, Mercury is going to station retrograde in that area, so you will have to redo something or review something at work, maybe like going back to something, like because Mercury turning retrograde is like symbolically going back, and sometimes it's good actually. This gives you an opportunity to fix something or make it better. Yeah, so because of Mercury retrograde, there might be delays, frustrations. And so I would say Don't be frustrated, and try not to sign contracts when Mercury is retrograde, because the thing is, Mercury is retrograde. It doesn't know, like, it's not doing its job very properly there, because there's a lot of misunderstanding. And so try not to sign any contracts, important documents when Mercury is retrograde. Basically in December, like, try not to sign it, because if you do sign it, which happens a lot of the times, keep in mind that the terms of the contract might change along the way, or that you might not fulfill the contract until the end. That's like the possibility of that. Next, which planet was it? Oh, Mercury, yeah. So after that, we have, on December 3rd, we have Venus in Libra making a square to Pluto in Capricorn. Now, this one is like this. So Venus is love and Pluto is power, or like a lot of energy, like volcanic energy almost. So think of it like as an eruption. So when you have this Venus connection, it means like in relationships there might be some things that frustrations that built up, and now they're gonna finally erupt. Okay. And don't worry, this is not the kind of transit that's going to like end your relationship. No, not like that. This transit is active for only 3 days, and so it can be a great opportunity to talk things out. Maybe you didn't have an opportunity until this, but now like you have this energy to resolve it, so it can be good. Another possible interpretation is Venus also rules money, not only love. It also rules money, finances, and Pluto also rules finances. Like it is a money sign, so money planet. So when they make an aspect, square aspect, it can be like clashes in terms of like finance, money, like or maybe power play, because Pluto is power. Yeah, so just be aware. Now, this is a minor transit. I wouldn't worry too much. I'm thinking of maybe not including these kinds of transits in like horoscope videos. I end up making almost half-an-hour videos. But anyway, on December 4th, we have Venus entering Scorpio until December 29th, 2023. So when Venus enters Scorpio, that means it enters your 4th house. So when Venus was in Libra, it was like very lighthearted, very flirty, sociable, like a social butterfly. Yeah, but when Venus enters Scorpio, things get serious. Now you're like one-on-one with partner, sharing your deepest secrets, deepest desires, psychological stuff, traumas with your partner. Or like this is a time when you make a joint account with your partner because you are committed to this relationship. Things get serious, and it's also because it's a water element sign. It's like very, very emotional. This is like when our emotions like get connected and stuff, like, yeah, like love gets deeper. So that's how most of December will be. And since this is your 4th house, it might not actually be about like your relationships only. It can be about like decorating your house. Yeah, because Venus is beauty after all, and 4th house is the place where we live at. So it will be a great time to decorate your place. You can find like great deals and beautiful objects for decoration. Okay. It can also be great for like real estate deals, because Venus is a like balance, fairness. So after that, on December 5th, we have the last quarter moon in Virgo. Now this marks the beginning of a week where not much happens, because the moon is getting smaller and smaller until it disappears before the new moon. And so instead of like trying to start things at this time, which will require a lot of Herculean effort, I would say use this time to recharge your batteries, finish things up that started with the previous new moon, and start getting ready for the upcoming new moon. This is like a great time to fill out applications and mail them so that they're delivered by the time of the new moon. Or like you apply for an apartment, to rent an apartment, and you fill out the application, and after the new moon they let you know that it's approved. So stuff like that. You get me? Yeah, so that's the last quarter moon stuff, like after December 5th. The next 5 days is a time when you should recharge your batteries, let yourself rest. This is like the naturally the time when we recharge. And normally you start receiving news 4 days before the new moon. Okay, 4 days before and after, that's when we get news. A lot of things happen, the new beginnings happen. Yeah, like if you haven't noticed that yet, try to observe after each new moon. You'll see that a lot of action starts happening. News, decisions, announcements, stuff like that. And what else? So after that last quarter moon, on December 6th, we have Neptune stationing direct on the 24th degree of Pisces. So this is going to happen in your 8th house. And when Neptune starts moving direct, we get a bit of more clarity, because Neptune is a very foggy planet. It's a planet of illusions. Like when you see something and it's like, it's not a reality. Like, but when it turns direct, you're like, oh, like now I see it. Like you get this clarity, okay? And this will be in your 8th house. So that's like, again, the theme of shared resources, other people's money, like money that you borrowed from the bank, or the money that you owe people, or the money that people owe you, okay? So that was Neptune stationing direct in Pisces. And after that we have like quiet days for like 6 days, and on December 12th, 6 days after Neptune is stationing direct, we have new moon in Sagittarius. And Leos, this is your 5th house, which is a Leo house. So this is like the time when you want to have fun, shine, be the center of attention, like just celebrating life. Yeah, this is a perfect time for that. And when is it? It's on December 12th, even though it's a bit early for the New Year's celebrations, but still, you will be in the mood to be like celebrating. But anyway, so 5th house, it's not just like celebrating, but also like your creativity, your children, maybe some news regarding your children if you have them, or if you have like creative hobbies, maybe it's like the time when you receive like some news, regarding your creative hobbies. Yeah. And what else? On December 13th, Mercury stations retrograde on the 8th degree of Capricorn, your work house. So yes, some things might slow down at work, and then you will start going back over some things. Like, think of it this way: you walked like this, right? And now like reverse and do something, and then like start going forward again. Like, it's literally like that. I mean, like, not literally, but like, you get it. And so Mercury retrograde, that's like a time when we get lost a lot, even in the city where we live at, like, because Google Maps starts malfunctioning or something. That can happen, it's highly likely. A lot of apps crash during this time as well. And if you are thinking of traveling, be aware that it is highly likely that flights will be delayed, because, you know, holiday season. But like, because this year we have Mercury in retrograde on top of all that, it's highly likely like that there will be delays. So plan accordingly, okay? Try to have a plan B. And next, oh, and Mercury retrograde, another thing I need to mention is try not to sign contracts when Mercury is retrograde, because you will not fulfill your contract until the end. Maybe like, I don't know, you'll quit that job before the maybe you'll quit it like in 2 years instead of 5 years, something along those lines. Next, on December 21st, so the skies will be clear after Mercury stations retrograde. The skies will be clear until like December 21st, which is when we have winter solstice. Yay! The sun enters Capricorn, and so that is the longest night of the year. And I like it, because that's when the days start getting longer, little by little. And I find that very optimistic. And so, and the thing about Mercury retrograde is that it's at its most confusing when it's changing directions, when it's about to turn retrograde or when it's about to turn direct. Yeah, so be aware that in the middle of December, it's highly likely that you will be confused, others will be confused. So be patient with yourself and with others, okay? I think awareness helps. It's happened to me a lot. Like when Mercury was retrograde, um, like I experienced all of the worst qualities of Mercury retrograde last time in August and September. Yeah, and but knowing that it's because of Mercury retrograde, knowing like how much of this left, like maybe a week or 2 days, 3 days, um, it really helps. Yeah, so next, on December 23rd, that Mercury is going to re-enter Sagittarius. So it's going to leave your work house and it's going to enter your fifth house. So it's the house of creativity, children, hobbies, okay? Personal self-expression. Yeah, so you will have to review or redo things in that area, or maybe discussions in those areas, because Mercury is communication after all. And after that, on December 26th, we have a full moon in Cancer, on the 4th degree of Cancer. And dear Leos, this is your 12th house. It's the most isolated house, like the part of yourself that you don't understand much. And so you have the luminaries lighting up your 12th house and 6th house, so work and how you rest. And like work, your routine, that's when your mind is the most active, and then the 12th house is when you are at home sleeping, like relaxed. That's why it rules our subconscious. And so it can be about like your gaining like illumination, understanding, like clarity, maybe regarding some subconscious like I don't know, patterns, maybe some dream. Maybe you will have some dream and that will be memorable, because the full moon, like in the 12th house, and both are emotional. Both, like the 12th house is associated with our dreams. Yeah, and the 6th house, the sun will be in the 6th house. Maybe it will be the time when like you want to take a vacation because it's time to rest. Okay, or maybe it's the time when your vacation you actually come back from vacation, because the full moon indicates like culmination, ending. So like vacation ending. Like, does that make sense? And so keep in mind that full moons are the times when we are very emotional. So if you feel like you are overly sensitive or moody, or if you think or if you notice that others are being moody or on the edge, yeah, then it's all because of the full moon. Like, be patient with yourself and with others. The full moon energy is active 4 days plus or minus. Okay, and yeah, on the same day as the full moon, we have Chiron stationing direct on the 15th degree of Aries, which is your 9th house. Chiron is a wounded healer, so whenever it's stationed direct, we receive some kind of like healing. Like, I guess its retrograde motion was like treatment, and now when it turns direct, it's like you are released, I guess, like discharged. Yeah, whatever. So this is happening in your 9th house. I mean, Chiron is an asteroid. It's not even like a planet. So, but still, we can feel it. Okay, maybe in a very subtle way. Yeah, and on December 29th, we have Venus entering Sagittarius until January 23rd, 2024. This is fun energy because Leo, you are a fire sign. Sagittarius is also a fire sign, and Venus enters that area, your 5th house. Yeah, that's a really fun energy. Think of it like this way. If Venus was like in Scorpio, a sign that is like where Venus feels weak, okay? It's because Scorpio is a Mars sign. And so she was forced to listen to like deep conversations, reveal her deepest insecurities, like secrets, traumas, that's all that stuff. Imagine Venus as like this, I don't know, popular girl who likes fashion, and she's forced to do those things, like share her deepest parts and stuff. And like Venus is superficial, so yeah, Venus hates being in Scorpio. So when it enters Sagittarius, she's like, oh, okay, finally I'm free. Like let's party, let's travel. Like that's literally how I imagine that energy. and that's why Sagittarius is a bit wild after Scorpio. That's why when planets enter it, it's like they feel this like breath of fresh air, I guess. Yeah, because they feel renewed, they feel transformed after spending time in Scorpio, like all the introspection and stuff. And now they're back with like more optimism, I guess. And so it's in your first house, yeah. Next, on December 30th, finally, we have Jupiter stationing direct on the 5th degree of Taurus. That is your 10th house. So work matters. Now we'll start moving forward. If they had slowed down before, excuse me, I need to drink some water. Yeah. Excuse me. So when Jupiter stations direct, we will have only 2 planets left in retrograde, which is good, because when a lot of planets are retrograde, everything slows down. It's like, imagine it as ropes holding you back, making you move backwards. But when you have few planets retrograde, it's like, think of it as like fewer things holding us back. But the thing is, even though 2 planets are retrograde, one of them is Mercury, which is an inner planet, and so it affects our daily lives. And so we will feel that retrograde. But anyway, so as long as you are aware, I think it will be bearable. And yeah, so I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you guys in my January video. Okay, if you liked it, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.